So, hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about really the three types of, politics when it comes to YouTubers. So, oftentimes you'll see this on YouTube. You've got three main types of politics. Politics type number one is kind of apolitical. This doesn't mean the person is actually apolitical. The person may be, very, 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 leaning in any direction. They may be a full-on fascist. They may be like very, very left wing. It doesn't really matter. It's more just that that's the external things you see. That's what you see. Now and again, you'll see maybe some of them will give it a little bit of clue, but mostly it'll be relatively hard to tell. That'll be the aim anyway, to make it apolitical, even though it may not necessarily be their actual views. But of course, now you also have the secondary category. This is your kind of anti-capitalist sort of thing. These are a lot of YouTubers, interestingly. But the problem is they are actually in a very weird position because YouTubers are oftentimes, guilty of tax avoidance. It's not a crime, but it is immoral. So basically, you'll see this with a lot of YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers they're YouTubing on their own. Maybe they will have an editor or, all something like that, but they will generally only have like an editor and that sort of it. Not many people working on the content. Now they might have other people when it comes to like maybe merchandise and all that sort of thing, but mostly when it comes down to it, it'll be them and that'll be sort of it. And that's generally the good thing, because we don't want to be watching media companies, because it's a bit tacky to have someone be like, oh yes, you watch me for me, now I'm going to exploit you to exploit other workers. But this is exactly what a lot of YouTube creators do. Either they develop into media companies and they start exploiting workers for content, or they commit tax avoidance. Not a crime, but it's still immoral, where they don't pay tax to the government because they officially create a company. And of course, if you want to have the best option, yes, if you're a YouTuber, create a company. That's a central thing. It means you basically get free editors, basically get free things. Every single cost that comes down to producing content, you can run through this business. Meaning, you can buy a house with this. You can buy, property for your YouTube channel. You can buy brand new spanking hot computers and all of this stuff. You can bring your budget. This is why a lot of creators do this, spend a lot of money on stuff because, in essence, it's free money because it's money that they would have been paying in tax. And now, as long as they spend it, they don't have to. So this is the point. So these aren't actually, anti-capitalist people, though. Most of them. Some of them are, but most of them are not. They're doing it in the same way the billionaires say, oh, go ahead, tax me. And it's, for one reason. They know it's never going to happen. They know there will never be a communist society in America that is actually successful. They will never have to be told, no, you can make a nice little bit of income off your YouTube channel, but you cannot make millions. It doesn't matter if you get tens of millions of views. You have a cap on that income. You cannot make enormous amounts of wealth, more wealth than is your fair share. No, you cannot do that. They know that will never happen. So in essence, they can say what they like. And of course, they choose to say anti-capitalist rhetoric because, they're rich, and it doesn't seem too great for a rich person to also be, too right-leaning. It makes them seem a bit of a dickhead, Makes people think, yeah, so you're just a rich person, I don't really want to give you money for your Patreon. I don't really want to become a YouTube member or anything like that, So, no. But if instead you have this anti-capitalist rhetoric, well then people tend to support you more because they don't think of you as the rich person. They think of you as like-minded. You're down with the people because that is rhetoric. But of course, that's not your true beliefs. And then you have your third type. And your third type is your out-and-out fascist. These would be your misogynistic. These would be, your incels or your people who make content for incels. These would be your transphobes, your homophobes, all sorts of people who are very, very, very far right. and very, very not nice. People who attack people, people who do all this sort of stuff, and people who are very publicly not nice. These aren't people you go to and you have to, explain to people, this person isn't actually nice. See these actions? This is an action of exploitation. There's no explanation needed here. People who don't understand this are either stupid or also fascist. The point is, in essence, these are not nice people very visually. Very visually. And you'll see them all over YouTube. They are very, very, very popular people. A lot of following on them. And yeah, these are basically your three main sort of political camps. Now, of course, you do have now and again smaller camps, sort of like centrist people, but mostly most of these people who are individuals, not corporations, will have a apolitical, officially anti-capitalist, but, oftentimes not actually, and then you're full-on fascists. So basically, that's just a little thing there, just explaining it to you there, and hopefully I explained a little something about the politics of YouTube. Of course, doesn't really say much there to actual politics of YouTube, just explains the visual politics of YouTube. Apolitical people are not necessarily apolitical. People who say they're anti-capitalist aren't necessarily anti-capitalist. They may even in fact be fascists, and fascists are oftentimes just fascists, although sometimes, in some cases, not so much. Sometimes they're actually not fascists and they just know that for some reason, fascist people are a very, very valuable resource to tap. I guess, they realize if you're, fascist, you're either stupid or rich, in which case, either you're stupid and you can be duped into giving your savings, or you're rich and you can afford to give money. Very valuable industry. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll come back next time.